In this lesson, we'll show you how to sim trade with our signals. Our goal is to create a realistic environment for you to get familiar with the signals. It's a low pressure environment, but you can gain a lot of experience in not very much time. First, we'll show you the highlights from a sim trading session, then we'll go through step by step for the setup. Okay, so let's go ahead and press play to get the playback started. Here at the start of the day, we're looking at 6:30 Pacific time. That's going to be 9:30 Eastern. And at the start of this day, we can see the blue signals for an uptrend. We're looking for prices, or look, prices are at the support. So let's go ahead and give it a buy. And if we right click on the chart, we can click here to set the stop. We can move the stop just by dragging the sell stop, and we can click on the X to remove it. I'm going to go ahead and click the up arrows here to speed up the playback. And okay, right at the open, prices trade lower, take out the support there, and so you can see how the position is stopped out, and we're starting to see a pretty typical kind of wild trading session at the start of the day. And in this example, prices are going and approaching that previous low. The bars are turning red, so we're going to kind of hold off here for time. As you know, with the sweet spot, we're looking for prices to pull back to the support. So if we're looking for that to happen, we need for prices to pull back to the dots. You can see for the red signal, it's all the way up here. That means for quite a bit of risk if we're looking to try to chase this move lower. So we can kind of be hands off here. In fact, for the playback, we can really speed this up because there's no sort of action. Even as prices are taking out the previous lows, we have to just kind of sit back and wait for the prices to pull back to the dots. All right, and now it looks like prices are pulling back, so we're going to go ahead and slow down the playback, although the prices are just shooting past the dots. We're seeing the start of a trend change here. Blue bars are coming in, but there's not really too much to do with this in terms of trading because the dots are really far away from the dots, from the current price. One of the things that we can note as prices are testing at this resistance is the high is there at 75.38. If we are looking for a move, we wouldn't be looking for a buy signal. We really have to look for a short trade. As the prices are testing at the dots here, we can use the previous high as a stop. It's our second trade setup. I'm going to put the mouse over sell market, and we'll go ahead and get short here and use that previous level of the stop as our sweet spot trade setup. So we're entering very close to the dots, and we have the possibility of the price is moving in the right direction very quickly. And the stop is about 7 points away from the entry. So as prices break the previous low, we want to start to manage the risk out of the trade. So if prices turn around here, which they can do at the open, the price action can be really wild and directionless. Okay, and as prices have taken out the low here, now we want to go ahead and basically just take the risk out of the trade. If it turns around from here, we can get out for a scratch or better. Okay, here we can just start to increase the playback speed. There's not really anything else for us to do unless the dots move down, in which case all we're doing is moving the stop in. Okay, here we can just continue moving the stop in, and all right. Oh, and as prices are pulling back, let's go ahead and slow this down again. This is again another testing point. If we didn't have a position, we're seeing prices pulling back to the sweet spot again. So using the same stop, we could effectively be looking for a position. Since we have one, we can just speed it up, and actually prices are pulling back very close to the dot or to the stop. It might just be on the edge of getting stopped out here, But the good thing for the position is that it's looking at just below 50-point gain. If it gets stopped out, it should be coming off for a 44-point winner. So again, if we are in the position, it's out of our hands, we have to just kind of either let it get stopped out, or if the trend continues, that'd be great. And if we're on the sidelines, then we wouldn't buy here, or we wouldn't sell short here, but if the bar starts to turn red, then we can put the mouse over the sell market and then pull the trigger. We'd use the same stop. Okay, it looks like it's holding here, and so we'll just go ahead and again we can speed this up perhaps a little bit further as prices continue to hold. All right, and it looks like prices are going to continue to hold. It's approaching the lows, and we'll see if prices are able to break down through. If they do, we're going to want to move the stop in to continue securing profit. It's looking pretty good so far. Now we're going to keep on speeding this up as things are looking pretty good. We're just going to keep on moving the stop in and see how much further this can go. Okay, and there's the end of the trade. Okay, and now as prices are taking out those highs, it's looking like it wants to go higher, but we don't want to chase the price here. We want to wait for a pullback, and so as prices, or if prices can come to the dots, that's where we're going to be looking to buy. Let's slow it down over here. Okay, and as prices are coming back up, we know how to set the stop, so let's go ahead and buy market, and let's quickly put in the stop just below the low or close to the previous level, and we'll see if prices can get up into the highs. And here we can just speed it up, because again, either from this point, either it takes us out of the position, in which case we won't know which direction to go. Okay, actually now we see here the prices turn red. We go ahead and close out the position manually, and that one looks like it's going to be a small loss. Okay, so let's go ahead and pause it here, and we've covered the first 3 hours of this trading session. So we've got 6 trades. We can go over to the control panel now and take a look at the trade summary for this sim trading. Okay, you can see here in the control panel the gross profit here of over $1,100. We click over here for new and trade performance. Click over here for trades, and then we can see a trade by trade report, and those are the trades that we have on the chart. Okay, for this part of the lesson, we're going to start with an empty workspace in NinjaTrader and go through how to grab data, how to set up the charts, and how to just get started with the playback. For the software installation, reference the documentation, or you can contact tech support, and we can help you with installation of NinjaTrader or the add-ons for the software. So for the first part of using the playback, we need to get the data. If we click here for tools and then historical data, okay, that brings us the historical data window here, and we can click over here for market replay, and we can see what data is available. Currently we have data for the NQ September contract. We're going to be trading December pretty soon, so we're going to want to get the new data for the December contract. All right, so let's show you how to do that. So if we click over here to load, and we click here for get market replay data, we click here for instruments to select which product that we want to grab data for, and we can select the date. So for the September contract, as I mentioned, we just had the expiration for September on last Thursday. So days before the 20th, we can use September. Otherwise, we need to go ahead and click here and type in 12 for December 18. And then we can go ahead and select the date. And then now we can grab data for 9/24. All right, so then we go ahead and click on download, and that will show us loading data. And once that's completed, we can click here for edit, and we can see that the data here is available now. All right, so when we go ahead and close this and connect to the playback connection, and here's a little box for the playback connection. And the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is to set the date. There's one thing to note here. So when I'm setting the start date here, I'm going to select the 23rd. It won't let you use the same start and end date. And so for us on the West Coast, we can see here that 9 o'clock is actually going to be midnight for the 24th. So just keep in mind, the data that you download from NinjaTrader is going to be on US Eastern Time. And so you would just convert that to the time on your computer. All right, next up, we can go ahead and pull up a new chart. So if we click over here to New Chart, and again, I'm just going to select the new product that the product that we have, and I'm going to change this to a 1-minute chart, and I'm going to let it draw with open, high, low, close bars, and I'll go ahead and click OK. All right, and the chart appears blank here right now, but if we go ahead and drag this slider, it will go ahead and put this to the just before the open. Again, on my clock, that's 6:30 Pacific. All right, now we can go ahead and click here for indicators, and then we can go ahead and double click here to add the studies. All right, so then from here, basically, we can go ahead and press play. And as you can see, the prices are starting to tick up and down. We can go ahead and click here to open up the Chart Trader panel. Click Chart Trader, and then you'll see on the top you have your order buttons. You can buy or sell market. That's typically what we'll do for the sim trading. And we also have the buttons to close the order and also to reverse. Here we have the buttons here to increase the speed. For the playback, click up, and you can go up pretty fast, although with the signals we would recommend for the playback to keep it below 20, and that still will save us a lot of time during the playback session. All right, and as you're using the chart trader, let's go ahead and put in a buy order here to see how the order goes. So you can see here how it shows the entry price and the open profit on the position. We can come down to set a stop at the previous level of the dots. Just right click on the chart and it'll place the stop there. We can do it as a market or as a limit order. And once we click, you'll see that it places a line and a tag there. If we click above here, we can also set a limit. So same thing, just right click and click on sell limit. To adjust the open orders, like we have with the stop with the limit here, if we click on the X, we can go ahead and remove the limit that we have there. And for the stop, if, as an example, if prices are moving in the right direction, we can just click on the tag and then move the mouse and then click again to place the stop at a new price. When you've completed your trading session, you can pull up your results from the main control panel. If you have any questions about how to deal with a certain trade, you can ask us. Remember, your trial package includes one-on-one assistance, and we're more than happy to help. Contact your software consultant, and be sure to keep the application open with your session or export the trade report to reference in your consultation.